This is Lesson 6, Conduct the Analysis. Exercise 6A, Establish Proximity Zones. In this first exercise, we have two objectives. First, we want to create a buffer zone that defines an area of interest along the LA River. And second, we want to further limit the scope of our search by excluding quarter-mile zones surrounding all existing parks. We'll start by opening a new blank map document from My Templates. Before we add any data, we'll set up a new geodatabase in which to store our results separate from our source data. First, we'll activate the catalog window and then expand folders until we get to the analysis data folder. Now right-click the analysis data folder and choose New File Geodatabase from the context menu. Name the new geodatabase Analysis Outputs. Then right-click on it and make it the default geodatabase as indicated by the yellow house icon. Expand the Ready Data geodatabase and drag the LA River feature class into the map display. The buffer tool is found here with other commonly used tools under the Geoprocessing menu. Add the LA River as the input feature and name the new feature output class LA River Buffer. Enter the 3/4 mile distance value as 0.75 and set the units to miles. After we run the buffer operation, the new feature class is added as a layer. Next, we'll get the Parks feature class and drag that into the display. In the table of contents, right-click Parks and choose Zoom to Layer. Now we go back to the buffer tool, and this time we'll set Parks as the input features and accept the default name for Output feature class. Set the distance units to 0.25 and the units as miles. Under Dissolve type, we choose All, which will merge any overlapping features into continuous non-overlapping features. The resulting areas in Parks Buffer seen here represent areas that should be excluded from our analysis because they are already served by existing parks. To get a better visual read on what's happening here, we'll open the Layer Properties for Parks Buffer and under the Display tab set the transparency to 50%. Now we can see the relationship between the LA River Buffer and the Parks Buffer. Let's go to the Search window and locate another geoprocessing tool called Erase. Launch the Erase tool from the list of search results. When the tool opens, enter LA River Buffer as the input and Parks Buffer as the erase features. We'll name this new output feature class Proximity Zone. Click OK to run the tool. When it's done, we can turn off all the other layers and see that we are left with this somewhat irregular shape. It's interesting, but sort of meaningless without any other geographic context, so we'll add some now. We'll change the shape to a nice bright blue. And then from the collection of base map services, we'll add the one called Topographic. Finally, we'll set the transparency of the proximity zone layer to 50%. This allows us to see through the features to the base map underneath. The areas of the base map covered by the blue area are the places still in the running for our new park. Pan up and down the length of proximity zone to get a sense of what areas of the city are still viable choices for our new park. When you're finished exploring, turn off the base map and zoom to the full extent of the proximity zone layer. Before moving on to the next lesson, we'll go ahead and save it as lesson6.mxd.